So the Mullen stock just boomed by about 20% in the last hours of trade and the aftermarket. Hi again everyone, hope you're all doing really well. So the reconvened shareholder meeting for Mullen Automotive is over now. And as a result, all the proxy voting measures have been approved. So what this means is currently, as pertaining to proxy item number 2, the company has no plans to effect a reverse stock split. I think this is what's kind of given the stock a bit of momentum, because shareholders were getting a bit sick of the manipulation of the stock and the refloating stock. So obviously, we've still got the 2 court cases going on into Mullen Automotive, and the idea that they potentially sold more stock than they were legally allowed to do. But we haven't heard the results of that. But for now, proxy number 2 was approved. And what this means is there's not going to be a reverse stock split at the moment. However, there are certain requirements that Mullen must meet in order to maintain its listing on the NASDAQ and inclusion in the Russell 2000. So this was commented on at the meeting. The NASDAQ requires a minimum bid of $1 per share, and Mullen has until the 6th of March 2023 to meet this requirement. If the share price falls short, the company intends to seek an extension from the NASDAQ, which may give them an additional 180 days, which brings us up to September 6, 2023 to comply. However, if they fall short, they will then effect a reverse stock split. That's the plan from the company. However, similarly, with the Russell index, they also require a $1 stock price for inclusion. And being on these indexes is important because it does lead to some passive investment from big investment houses like your Vanguards and your BlackRocks, etc., for inclusion in their index fund. So there is a bit of prestige and honor that comes with being in this, and it is good for the stock because it gives it a bit more stability. So in order to stay in that, the stock price needs to be above $1 by the time the next rebalance happens in June 2023. So the board said at that time, if the share price falls short, Mullen will evaluate if it is in the best interest of shareholders to initiate a reverse stock split for continued inclusion in the Russell 2000 index. Obviously, by doing the stock split then, if it does occur, it would then allow the company to again meet NASDAQ listing requirements. Although for the NASDAQ, they do need to maintain it for 10 consecutive days. So at this point, no reverse stock split, and I think this has been the news that has buoyed the market late on, and it's why Mullen climbed by about 19% in the regular session and trickled up slightly further in the aftermarket. So a lot of the losses which the share price had seen after its slow rise in December have kind of actually come back to the stock. And it'll be interesting to see what comes in these last 2 trading days of the week, if we're going to see a continued pushback towards the 40-cent mark and then potentially even a reignition of pressure on the shorts in the stock, which there is still a fair number in. Further to that, it is worth commenting again that even though there has been this petition put up by Mullen shareholders about the board potentially announcing an investigation into naked shorting, obviously there's a bit of a hope that this would kind of bring the stock a bit of a sugar rush and pump it up a bit. The petition now has over 10,000 signatures and counting. The board did not comment on this at all, but you can only sign it, and if that is the case, I think we might get to see some action in the Mullen stock price like we've seen with GNS and HLBZ stocks lately, the 2 other stocks I've been looking at. Difference between Mullen and those 2 groups is Mullen is a much bigger company. They have a market cap about 5 times bigger than Genius Group, so gives you an idea. So for some sort of mega rally like that to happen, it would take a lot more enthusiasm from a bigger number of shareholders because it is a much larger company, even at its beaten down stock prices. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about the delaying or the cancelling for now of the reverse stock split. Do you think it's a good move for the stock longer term? Do you think it will be able to actually eventually get back to the $1 mark on its own? Or do you think we're eventually going to see this reverse stock split happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, everyone, and like is trade in your favour. Cheers.